What's up, guys? It's your boy Hokage Puya here, and as the title of this video states, as the thumbnail shows, FIFA needs to wake up. FIFA needs to get their act together because my experience, I went to the PSG Atletico Madrid game in LA at the Rose Bowl this past Sunday, and it was not a great experience. It was not a great experience. I'm gonna get into it in this video. This is gonna be a little bit of a rant video, but also a warning to FIFA that what I saw organizationally wise, arriving to the stadium, the conditions, what I saw was inexcusable for the standards that FIFA needs to be at, especially looking at the FIFA World Cup that is going to be here in less than a year. FIFA needs to wake up. I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience at the PSG Atletico Madrid game. We're not really going to break down the game. I mean, if you care, this is how the game ended 4-0. It was cool. It was cool to see all the fantastic players: Vitinha, Nuno Mendes, Due, Julian Alvarez, De Paul, and all those guys, Marquinhos, Pacho, Donnarumma. Like, it was surreal seeing them. Like, anytime I get the chance to go see the top players play, I'm going to take it. And the tickets were actually not bad. I'll give FIFA credit there. A ticket for this game, at least when I got them, I bought tickets for this game a month before PSG won the Champions League. I'm pretty sure prices went up after that, after they won the Champions League, but I got tickets very front row. Like, I was in the third row of the stadium, 10 feet away from the field, $97 each for a ticket. So for American prices and everything and what I was expecting when I wanted to go buy the tickets, not bad. So I'll give them their credit there, but cool, great game. I got to see the players. It was a cool experience. In fact, I'll just add before the rant starts, I saw after the game. So a couple things happened at this game, guys, if you care. So in our seats, we're like in row 3. We're in row 3 of the stadium. We're like basically right behind the dugout where the teams and their benches are. One major thing that happened. We're sitting there. My girlfriend is a major stalker. She's an Argentine fan. She's a stalker on the Argentinian players and all their girlfriends. She looks to her right, and literally 2 seats away from us is Nahuel Molina, the Argentinian right back, World Cup winner, scored a huge goal against the Netherlands at the World Cup, right back at Atletico Madrid and the Argentinian national team. His girlfriend is literally sitting 2 seats away from us, and she was so sure of it. I just told her, ask, because there's no way that just happened. Like, we're just sitting. Obviously, she's not famous or anything, but what are the odds that a player's girlfriend is just sitting right next to us? She asked in Spanish, "Are you Nahuel Molina's girlfriend?" She says, "Yeah, I am. How are you?" And blah, blah, blah. So, 1, that happened. 2, when the game ends and I'm waiting outside the bathroom, me and my brother are sitting there. We're standing there. What happens? You guys, I'm out there. It's so hot. I'm looking at my water like some kind of buffoon, like some kind of a guy wearing a helmet. And you know who walks by me with 7 bodyguards? Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the owner of PSG, like the king of Qatar, basically, walks by me with his 7 bodyguards. And it was literally, you guys, it frustrated me. And this is going to be part of my rant. No one knew who he was. All these American bozo fans, no one knew. It was only me, my brother, and some broccoli head Latino kid. Only 3 of us were the only people that realized who the hell just walked by. No one else knew. No one else cared. So just shows you, American fans, idiots. Horrible. How do you not know that's Nasser Al-Khelaifi, one of the biggest names in this sport, bro? So that's the second thing. Third thing, we're waiting outside VIP area. I have a video. Gianni Infantino walks out. I literally could have slapped his bald head as he was getting escorted out from the crowd. So, that happened. But let's get into why my experience was iffy at the PSG Atletico Madrid game. Now, as I said, I had a nice time at the game. I watched the game. It was cool. The best players were out there. Yes, it was very hot. I don't blame FIFA for that. It was a very hot day in LA, 90 degrees. I was sweating. Don't blame them. The big issue that I had that rang so many alarm bells in my head was when I was arriving to the stadium. I planned to get to the stadium an hour and a half before the game. An hour and a half. As I slowly get to the stadium, we're hitting more traffic. And the weird thing was, we're hitting traffic 10 miles from the stadium. Like, I didn't, looking at the traffic, I thought, oh, this traffic isn't because of the Rose Bowl. There's probably an accident. It's probably not because of the game. The organization wouldn't be this bad where traffic is, all the way out into the freeway for this game, away from the stadium, right? But as we get closer and closer and closer, everyone seems to be going the same direction I want to go. So, boom, alarm bells. Why is it so hard to get to the stadium parking lot to where so many cars, thousands and thousands of cars are backed up going into the stadium parking lot? How is it organized so poorly? So, alarm bell number one, as we get closer to the stadium, guys, as we get closer, it gets worse. It gets worse. And I was supposed to get to the stadium an hour and a half before. You guys, guess when I got to the stadium, guess when I finally got inside of the stadium, where I got to the gate and I was running to my seat. Guess what time? I planned to get there at 10:30, 10:45. I got into the stadium at 12:15. I walked into the stadium in 15 minutes of the first half already passed. Because so many people were backed up in traffic. The organization for getting people into the stadium was so awful. You guys, if you watch the highlights of the game, you'll notice that when the players walk out and everything, damn, the stadium looks empty. Man, Americans don't care. Oh, it's such a big game, but nobody's out here to watch the game. No, you guys, that's not the case. The Rose Bowl holds 104,000 people, I think, 100,000 people at least. 80,000 people came out for this game. 80,619 people came out for this game. When the game started, judging from what I saw after the game when I went back and watched the highlights, I am confident in saying there was still 60,000 people outside of the stadium trying to get in to see this match. At the start of the game, 60,000 people were still trying to get into the stadium. And it's not because, at a certain point, it's not because everyone was just late and irresponsible. No, it's because the organization around arriving to the venue was awful. Now, granted, if you know nothing about the Rose Bowl, it's literally situated, built in a neighborhood, right? In the middle of a huge neighborhood in LA. However, I have been to the Rose Bowl a couple of times before for big games, for big occasions. Never has getting into the stadium been so awful. The experience was genuinely awful. I thought it was going to ruin my whole experience. Now, I get into the stadium, right? 15 minutes, the game had already gone by. But when I walked into the stadium and I was walking to my seat, PSG scored the first goal. So FIFA needs to wake up. The reason why this is so alarming is this is the game FIFA should have prepared for the most. Because of the first games of this Club World Cup, this is the biggest one. This is the most high-profile game you're going to get at the Club World Cup until you get to the semifinals, the quarterfinals of the tournament. And the preparation for the biggest match of the group stage was horrendous, where 60,000 people at the start of the game were still outside, either trying to get into the parking lot or trying to get in through the gates. Organization was awful. 60,000 people. I would guess that I think 60,000 people missed the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, and at least a couple thousand people probably didn't make it into the second half. Now, the stadium ended up filling up. I think everyone ended up getting in. The stadium was full. It ended up being a great turnout. 80,000 something people is huge. So that was good to see. That was really good to see. But the organization, bro, the reason why this rings alarm bells for me is the World Cup is bigger than this. The World Cup is 1,000, 1,000,000 galaxies bigger than this poopy ass Club World Cup. Now imagine the same stadium, the same organization I experienced. Remember, this is FIFA. This isn't UEFA. This is FIFA. The same governing body and organization that does everything for this Club World Cup and that will be in charge of the World Cup, that is in charge of every World Cup. Imagine if this was a France versus, okay, maybe too extreme. Imagine if this was a Imagine if this was a Spain versus Brazil or something. Imagine if this was a Brazil versus a Portugal at the World Cup. That is a galaxies bigger than a Club World Cup group stage match in the new format of the Club World Cup between Atletico Madrid and PSG. Like, are you tracking, you guys? Are you guys tracking what I'm saying? Just imagine how much worse it could have been if this was the World Cup. Imagine the amount of people that would have missed the game, the organizational nightmare. Plus, it's a World Cup, so people will be even more rabid and crazy to try and get into the stadium. Imagine how bad of a situation that could have been. Imagine that. So the organization, FIFA needs to wake up, because from what I saw, this is your biggest match of the tournament until you probably get to the quarterfinals and semifinals. You know this. You know PSG and Atletico Madrid are going to play each other for months, and this is the organization that was in place. I'm sorry, that rang alarm bells for me. And the reason is I want the World Cup next season, next summer, to be big. I want it to be great. I want it to run smooth. I want it to be a great experience for everyone. When people go to games, I hate hearing stories of people having horrible experiences. I want it to be smooth. I want people who travel all this way to the United States who will be paying premium prices for tickets. It's going to be the most watched World Cup, the biggest World Cup. It's going to be the most expensive World Cup for fans. I don't want people to travel across the world to the United States for a World Cup experience and have an experience like I did. Because it's FIFA. So they need to wake up and learn from their mistakes here at the Club World Cup, because it was unacceptable for 60,000 people to be still trying getting for 60,000 people to still be trying to get into the stadium at the start of the match. That's just simply unacceptable. Now, honestly, for me, I missed the first 20 minutes fine. I still got to see 70 minutes of the treble winning team and some of the best players in Atletico Madrid. I was happy about it, but still, it just got me thinking about the World Cup in the back of my mind as I was watching the game. It was genuinely that bad. To add on top of it, the security. Now, I mentioned how I saw Nasser Al-Khelaifi, right? I mentioned how I saw Gianni Infantino, right? Infantino, bro, I'm just looking out for you. If I was able to slap the top of your bald head while you were trying to leave the VIP area to your car, such horrible security. And the crowd for this Club World Cup, guys, to see him coming out of the VIP was huge. Imagine again if this was a World Cup, to see the president of FIFA. You guys, I wish I wasn't too lazy, I would have edited the video in here. I could have slapped his bald head. That's how close I was to the guy. So safety-wise for himself too, Khalifi just able to walk through the stadium, sure, with 7 bodyguards, but just walking through the stadium. Now he got lucky that only Americans don't know shit and don't know who he was. That me and my brother and one other broccoli-head Latino kid knew who he was. But again, imagine if this was the World Cup. So FIFA needs to wake up. What I saw organizationally wise was, and maybe I'm sounding like a Karen. Sorry, someone knocked on my door. Maybe I'm being a Karen, but it's the same governing body that is in charge of organizing next year's World Cup. It raised alarm bells in my mind. It's been your boy Hokage Puya. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace, peace. Love you all.